Okay, so the questions are pouring in.
Great.
Let's take a couple of them. Again, I want to reiterate, we're not doing spoiler alerts. So there's some of these questions are very specific. They're the questions that you all normally ask on our property showcases, and that's coming. This is just meant to be more of a market overview and kind of tease you for the two teams that we've got and give you sort of a picture of how they'll be different. So on that note, try to keep.
Well, I could give them my Venmo account if they really want some of the secrets.
Okay, so Tim can be swayed. He will offer contact information for a fee.
For food.
All right. Hey, Bhavna, good to see you on here. Bhavna wants to know, do you have to use their property management companies?
You do not, but I've looked at 6 property management companies while I was there, and the 3 that they've chosen that they wanted to work with, those were my top 3. So I think you're in great shape with these teams, but you can use any property management company you'd like.
Right. At the end of the day, Tim has a good sniffer. He can go in and he's worked in this business and in turnkey and flipping. I mean, he's very experienced in this business to begin with. And he gets to go in and look at the operations of all of these property management
all around
companies.
the country. Yeah, I've seen him talk to a lot of people.
Yeah, so he knows, what to look for when kind of screening a property management company. But Tim is, as much as I hate to say it, he's not perfect.
Very true.
So you definitely want to check them out for yourself and make sure that they meet your criteria. Maybe you have a pet peeve that is just not something that Tim really thinks is a big concern, but it is for you. And so you gotta find that out and make sure that there's someone you want to work with.
Yeah, I remember Team A, we negotiated down to 6% as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the lowest that we have in our network.
Yep.
Okay, so with the prices for these new homes, as great as they are, and the high paying jobs, why would folks rent there instead of buying for themselves? To that, I would say, I think that times are changing. I just don't think home ownership means the same as it did for previous generations. I mean, the millennial demographic is now at home buying age and home formation age. And many are choosing to rent because they can't buy. Either they have, I was listening to an article the other day or a newscast the other day that was talking about just the amount of student loan debt. And so it's like most millennials, they kind of bought a house, they have a mortgage in the form of student debt. And so their debt to income ratios can't handle a purchase of a property, but they might have great income. So they could rent the property. Any thoughts that you have on that, Tim, of why people would rent?
I'm on the other spectrum. Me and my wife, our boys are older now, and they're both moved out. So we're looking at selling our house and we're going to live in Florida maybe a year and live in North Carolina for a year. So we're thinking about become renters.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. I think the boomer generation too, as moving to retirement age, I think a lot of baby boomers, their retirement funds are sitting as equity in their homes. And so the way to access that equity is selling that home, using that cash, renting a property. I think it's just changing.
Yeah, house next to me sold the other day and I couldn't believe what they got for it. I'm like, we should sell.
Right.
we can move around the country and rent.
Right. All right, Dennis wants to know.
We both work from home as well, so that's the new thing. A lot of people work from home,
right?
So they can live wherever they want.
Yeah, having some mobility is kind of nice. We don't set down roots. Yeah. Somebody wanted to know here. Oh, questions are coming in. I'm getting lost here. What is the income tax rate? I don't know what the state income tax rate is off the top of my head. Do you, Tim? I know property tax. The property tax rate was, I think, 0.8% was the average.
0.832 outside the city and 1.2 inside the city.
Okay, great. In California, all new builds must have solar. Are any of the builders providing that? Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're looking for landlord-friendly, corporate-friendly states that don't mandate things like that. That can be expensive, and I don't think there's a lot of return for builders to do that.
And that I have not heard of yet, but I didn't hear of steel till about 3 months ago, so I'll never say never.
Right. Okay, Thomas wants to know if we've identified preferred lenders. Yes, we have a list of preferred lenders on the investor portal. When you're logged in, on the left-hand navigation bar, you will see a section that says lenders, and you'll see 5 fantastic conventional lenders there. All are licensed in all of the different states where we have property teams, all work almost exclusively with real estate investors. So if you have not identified a lender, absolutely connect with one of our preferred lenders. They'll be great for you. Okay. John wants to know, what type of metrics do you guys use to evaluate a property? Cash on cash return, appreciation, cap rates, etc. Tim, do you have anything you want to throw in there?
Yeah, I look at it all, but I do not count on appreciation. I'm an ROI guy. I know the big rule of thumb everybody likes to use is the 1% rule, and I'm here to tell you that that's not the best way of doing it. Let's just use, I'm going to make up a city because I don't want to throw anywhere underneath the bus. Let's just say Zooville has $100,000 house, $1,000 rent. You think that's 1%. I'm going to buy those all day long. Make sure you look at the taxes. Make sure you look at there's HOA. There's what I found by going around the country and seeing all these different people and looking at how the market works. The market figures it out. Landlords figure out how to make money. So if you're looking at the 1% rule, I bet you have high taxes. So for example, taxes aren't very high in Charlotte, so you don't have the 1% rule from rent to the price of the house. But if you look, the taxes are lower, all the other things are lower, so it averages out. So that would be my big thing, is just ROI, end of the day, is the key.
Yeah. All right. Azim wants to know, what are property management services? Does it cover builder's insurance for a certain number of years? No. So these homes will come with a warranty. So your builder will pay for a warranty. And Tim, did you say they're both 1 year?
2 and 10.
Oh, 2 and 10.
2 and 10. Yeah,
wow.
I believe it's 2 and 10. And we'll confirm that when they come out, but that's what I remember. I should have that on my notes, but I don't.
Yeah, nope. We won't hold you to it, Tim. We'll get them on here and firm it up for sure. Okay, we've already kind of talked about that one. What about rust with the steel frame homes? Do they rust?
No, they're coated. And when we bring the builder on in 2 weeks, we'll let you know what company they're working with, what steel company they're working with, and their website does an awesome job explaining all that.
Okay. Okay, a couple of questions we've already gotten to. Again, we'll bring both these teams on to get to some of these more specific questions that you guys are asking. You're asking great questions, but they're very specific, and we want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So we'll bring them on here for you. Are these all single family? Will they offer multifamily? I believe both are only doing single family at this time.
They are doing single family at this time. Yeah, and what I did learn about steel is they can go up to 4 stories, but at this point it's only single family.
Okay. All right, do you have a preference, Tim? Infill or the new developments?
Yeah, I'm a big infill lot kind of guy if it's in the right area. It's already established. The reason being that even at the 20% rental in a subdivision is a great number, but if you're doing infill lots, it's pretty good chance you're gonna have even less than that. So
yeah,
that's really
and home values are already established a lot of times. I mean, experienced builders are pretty good about, stepping up the price point and making sure that they're increasing their sales price, in lockstep with inflation and appreciation. But it's not, it's developing. It's not established yet. So the infill sometimes gives you that advantage of kind of knowing what you're getting into.
And it's really hard to get infill lots. I mean, the bottom line is Florida has a lot of infill lots right now, and that's why everybody's going crazy in Florida. And we found Charlotte is another place that has infill lots, but like Atlanta, good luck trying to find an infill lot.
Yeah. All right, David wants to know if Team A will work with the 1031 exchange. David, we're going to say it's not optimized for 1031 exchange buyers, though they are telling us that 120 days is pretty typical. You don't want to cut it close with new construction and a 1031 exchange. So because it's a new relationship for us, we would not recommend that you go under a contract on a property with them for a 1031 exchange unless it's a property that they already have in process and it's much further along than normal.
Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, I love to say yes, but I've been around too long to know that it all looks good on the numbers and paper. Then when it comes down to the nitty gritty, storm comes, whatever the reason is, you get behind and it just becomes a pain in the butt. So just be careful there.
Right. Tim, this is getting really specific, but do you know how the
Okay,
builder hangs drywall on the steel frame? Is it the same
I
process?
do. I do. Yeah, it's pretty much the same process. Yeah, they actually use rivets. I watched them for about an hour doing it.
I wondered, I was thinking about this the other day after you and I spoke, because I'm a big like hang art everywhere kind of person. How do you can still hang art and stuff
Absolutely.
on the walls?
Yeah, you still have the drywall like you normally would anything else if you have drywall screws. But if you want to put it where the studs are at, then it's just a magnet, or you can use a rivet. They're using rivets that go right into the steel, and it's a lock, like a lock rivet they're using. But what they showed me in the model house was they actually had a picture frame with a magnet, and they could move stuff around, even move the TV around to show me how they could put the TV in different spots.
You could freak some people out with magnets in the walls, I think. All right. Let's see. This one says, I am out of state and recently signed a document with a local realtor, which says I can only buy properties through him for the next year. Does that mean I can't purchase from these? I would probably say we'll have to default to whatever your agreement says. I'd read it through and maybe have a conversation with your agent about it. But these arrangements or these relationships that we formed with these people, I mean, Team B is they're brokering, so
That's right.
they won't pay an additional brokerage fee there. The sellers won't. And then Team A, it's a direct sale. So that's part of the reason why they want to sell to us is because they're not having to pay agent fees. So it might be that you could still purchase a property from them using your buyer's agent, but you might have to pay for the commission of that agent.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We have some savvy people on here. Some people are guessing the names of these teams. They're trying to get us. All right. Will the property management teams have a chance to introduce themselves on a later webinar? Yes, we'll follow the same webinar process that we normally do, where we'll bring them on and we'll have a whole section dedicated to property management. So we'll give you all their info and tell you what we know about them. It's coming. Will either team allow for contract contingencies or will both require non-refundable deposits, similar to some of your other teams?
That is a good question. I think I had that in my notes somewhere. I believe they will. It's non-refundable unless there's, they're actually human as well. So if there's a real good reason, I know they had talked about, depending on the reason, they just don't want people coming in, locking stuff down, and then walking away. But if there's a family emergency, if the COVID, they had said there's ways to get to get that back. But we'll ask them specifically their process.
Yep. We'll firm that up. We'll try to get that new construction questionnaire that we did for all the other new construction teams. We'll try to get that completed by them as well. And we usually ask that question there about contract contingencies.
And that's one of the benefits working with us, since we do volume with them and we have a relationship with them, and especially, and so they're going to look at trying to help our members out as best they can.
Yep. All right. Walt wants to know if there's any weather challenges with North Carolina. Florida, you have hurricanes. Texas, you have tornadoes. Generally, North Carolina is pretty temperate. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of extreme weather. Now, it is a coastal state, so, depending on where you are in the state, I think there might be some potential hurricane risk. I know my time living there, Hurricane Matthew came through and wreaked havoc way further inland than anybody projected. But weather's weather. You can't know for sure. But I would say generally, I think it's a great alternative if somebody's a little bit nervous about Florida for risk of hurricane. I think, Charlotte, certainly you're significantly inland.
Yeah, sometimes they had told me that they do get a little bit of snow and the city does shut down. So they get an inch of snow, the city does shut down. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, they shut it down. Where I live in Ohio, we get 6 feet of snow and we go to work the next day.
Right. That's the South for you. I'm a Texas girl living in Boston. I'm about to get to my first Boston winter, so I'm bracing for that, Tim. I don't know how to drive in snow.
Just have 4-wheel drive.
Good thing I'm working from home. That's
nice.
That's the benefit. All right, guys, there are so many questions coming in. We'll get to a couple more here. We've got a lot of people on the line with us. It's really great to see you guys are excited about this market too. Is it a landlord-friendly state? Yes, Dave, it is. It is a landlord-friendly state and a business-friendly state. Is there any built-in equity in these homes?
There is some, yeah. The builder A is coming in with some equity, and Team B is negotiated a little bit better price with the builder. So there's a little bit.
Yeah, well, and here's the benefit. I mean, I can see if you're buying a home that's already done and you're closing in 45 days, like that's not a whole lot of time for some market growth, but 180 day time horizon on from when you go under contract to when you close in a growing market like this, I think chances are pretty good. It's not a guarantee, right? That's not
Right.
why I wouldn't buy it for that reason, but I would
That's
be
right.
very pleasantly surprised and pleased when I do have some equity, and I think it's probably pretty likely.
Well, yeah, and I'll say what I said before. 48 of the 50 biggest builders are in Charlotte, so they know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, that 20,000 house shortage in the market clearly spoke to builders looking
Yep,
to make some money.
that's right.
What is the time frame for Team A opening up Raleigh?
Ooh, I shouldn't have gave that one away. We're probably looking at December.
Okay,
Yep,
cool.
I'm excited about that. So my bad.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I think it's a good to put it all out there. Will the builder broker provide references of people who've bought through these organizations since we don't have real wealth history, real wealth investors? I think that is a very
Absolutely.
reasonable ask, Walt. It's something I would be asking as an investor buying from someone. I mean, and I'm glad, Walt, that you point out the fact that as a network, as real wealth, we don't have that long-term track record. We always say we can't guarantee future results of any of our teams, even the ones that we do have the track record with. But it does give a lot of our investors comfort to know, hey, this provider that you refer me to has sold hundreds of deals. They manage hundreds of properties for your investors. And we just don't have that yet with these companies. So I definitely think, well, I would be asking for some references from the builders as well. I think it's a good suggestion.
Absolutely.
Lots of questions about multifamilies. Not here, guys. I don't think we'll have any multifamilies in North Carolina for now. If you're looking for new construction multifamily, check out our Jacksonville provider
Yeah.
and our Orlando provider. They've got some good new build multifamily. And Houston as well.
Yep. And Dallas.
And Dallas. Yeah, we got
Yep.
lots of other options for you.
Yep.
Okay, someone wrote in and said the state income tax is 5.25%. So you will have to more than likely file a little tax return in that state based on the performance of your property if you made some money there. Okay, there's a question here about property management. They are not in-house property managers. Both teams are using third party.
Third party. Yep, third party.
Yep.
But the great news about the property managers I met with, one property management company, 90 years is in the family. The other was 40 years in the family. So that's stuff I look for.
Yeah. All right, we'll end on this one. They want to know, can I get a copy of these slides? Yes, we're recording this. So we will be posting this recording to the investor portal tomorrow. So you can go back and rewatch this. You can take a closer look at those pro formas, get a little more familiar with those numbers. We always record these guys for you. So they will be available usually tomorrow by the lunch hour. We'll have it up on the investor portal. All right, the questions are still pouring in, but we are coming up to the hour here. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. More to come, guys. Bring some of these great questions to these upcoming webinars that we've got with both of these teams. I think you guys will really, really enjoy hearing from them directly.
Yeah, I think so as well. This is a great opportunity for us. So I'm really excited.
Yep. All right, so if you are interested in Charlotte and you want to learn more, keep an eye out for that November 5th webinar. We'll send out the registration for that next week. You can always touch base with your investment counselor. We're kind of the inside scoop for you guys. You have access to us. When you join Real Wealth Network, when you create a login, when you create a profile, you are automatically assigned one of us 4 investment counselors, myself, Ben, Joe, and Aristotle. We are all in meetings and in close communication with Tim and all of the Real Wealth property teams. So we are more than happy to kind of talk about Charlotte with you in more detail and help you kind of compare the property teams there to the other property teams that we have these long-term relationships with. We don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed by all the choices. We want to help simplify that process for you. So just remember that you've got access to your investment counselor, and we do hope that you join us on those upcoming webinars.
Absolutely.
Right,
just
Tim?
for the yeah, last thing I would say, I've been trying to get Charlotte we were in Charlotte with Real Wealth Network many years ago, and till now we're back in Charlotte, and I've been trying to find the right teams in Charlotte, and it just worked out awesome. So I can't be more excited than I am for these properties.
Yeah, Tim, we really appreciate you working so hard for us and for our members to find new opportunities for us. North Carolina is one that we told you months and months ago always comes up in conversations with
Yep.
investors who, are looking for deals. They want to be investing in this state. So thanks so much for not only finding one good option, but two for us there.
Great. You're welcome.
All right. All right. And thank you for joining us. We hope you tune in next week for the horror stories with Joe Torre. And yeah, really appreciate you guys being here. Bye-bye.
Awesome. Thanks.